Welcome back to Mayday May. So today's tip for re-regulating is activating the dive reflex. So what is the dive reflex? The dive reflex is what helps keep us alive if we were to be plunged into a sea of freezing cold water. What it does is it helps conserve all of our energy and bring it back to our vital organs for survival. How this helps in daily regulation is when we're feeling stressed or overwhelmed, a lot of times our body will result in tensing up or agitation, our heart rate goes up, and then we're kind of left in this like overwhelmed state. So what the dive reflex does is it slows down the heart rate. So it creates a physiological change. We're not thinking through like how to calm down. So if you have tried everything else to calm yourself down and your mind is spinning out and you're just like, this is completely out of control, your dive reflex is what you're going to go for. So there's a couple of ways that you can do the dive reflex. And first is you can fill your sink or a bowl full of cold water. You want it to be cold because the temperature is what makes this work. And how you do this is you hold your breath, you plunge your face into the water up to about the temples. This is why holding the breath is important. Don't inhale the water. So when we put our face in up to the temples, the combination of holding the breath and the temperature is what activates the dive reflex and slows the heart rate down. Now, if you don't have access to a big old bowl of water or a sink, you can also get a towel wet and hold it to the temples and then just hold your breath. You can do that a couple of times. If it doesn't work the first time, you can try it again. Again, this is not a competition. You are not auditioning for Olympic synchronized swimming. You don't have to hold your breath for a really long time. It's just long enough to activate the dive reflex. You can also do this by getting your hands under cold water, like in a sink, and holding that onto the temples. And, if all of those things are kind of feeling like this is messing with a lot and I just don't feel like this is great for me, temperature is great. So you can put cold water on the wrists. You can have the cold rag and apply it to the back of the neck. Anywhere where the skin is thin, the temperature is going to help cool you down. The dive reflex is the combination of holding the breath and the cold water up to the temples. Do not do the dive reflex if you have heart issues, because again, the whole purpose of this is to slow down the heart rate. So if you have any health issues with that, don't try this. Just go with the temperature on the wrists or the back of the neck. Give this a try when things seem like they're really out of control and you cannot get a handle on it. Repeat as necessary. When the heart rate starts to come down, you'll start to feel like a weird sense of calm. That's what we're looking for. Immediately after you get that weird sense of calm, flip over to another coping skill to maintain it. This will only last for a few seconds. As soon as you start to warm up, if you're thinking and your brain is running out of control, it's going to go right back to where it was. So this is to interrupt, and then you use another coping skill. So Mayday, when things are out of hand and you need something to interrupt fast, dive reflex is another option. Give it a try.